There is something that sounds incredibly contradictory. We often believe that the more we walk, the healthier we become, and the more we sweat, the younger our bodies will stay. Yet, thousands of people still fall from nothing more than a misstep, still feel back pain just from bending down to tie their shoes, and still need to grab a handrail every time they walk up a few steps. So, what exactly is going wrong here? Imagine one morning, you wake up, stand up from your chair, just like every other day, but this time your knees feel stiff, your calves tremble a little, and you need a few seconds to regain your balance. Just those few seconds. But they reveal so much. It is not that you are getting weaker because of age. It is because your body is missing 3 essential movements that simple walking can never replace. This is not speculation. A 2024 study that tracked 8,000 adults over 60 years old for 5 years found this. Those who added only 3 targeted exercises even while training 40% less time reduced their risk of falling by as much as 73% and increased strength by up to 89%. Meanwhile, most people continue walking every day, yet their backs still ache, their legs still feel weak, and their reaction time remains slow. The most surprising part, one of these 3 exercises does not require any equipment, takes only a few minutes each session, and in a Harvard study, it was linked to increasing life expectancy by 42%. If you stay until the end of this video, you will receive the 3 exact exercises that improve balance, strength, and motor memory. The correct way to perform them without joint pain and without overexertion. A 20-minute per week training plan that helps you walk steadily, stand up with ease, and noticeably reduce the risk of falling. No complicated movements, no gym required, just the essential motions that the body needs after 60 years old in order to live independently. Stay strong and feel comfortable. And right now, let us begin with the first exercise, the one often described as the body's natural longevity gift. It is called the bird dog. Exercise number 1. Bird dog. Keep your body steady like solid ground, and you may keep your longevity longer than you think. Do you know what the strangest thing is? Our bodies do not get weaker because our muscles disappear. They get weaker because the brain and the muscles no longer coordinate as smoothly as before. It is like an old radio with poor reception. The signal is still there, but it is noisy and keeps cutting out. And this is exactly why the bird dog exercise exists. It is not meant to tire you out. It is not meant to burn calories. It exists to reconnect the pathways between your brain, your back, your legs, and your arms, like tightening the screws on a wobbly chair. You may not realize this yet, but every time you reach for a water bottle, turn your body to look behind you, or bend down to pick something up, you are using the same cross-body movement pattern that the bird dog exercise trains. If you do not practice it, your body slowly forgets how to stay balanced. And that is the truly worrisome part. Many people do not fall because their legs are weak. They fall because the brain does not send a stable signal fast enough. How to do it? Place both hands and both knees on the floor or on a mat. Think of it simply as if you were getting ready to wipe the floor with a cloth. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Do not tighten too hard. You might be surprised that just 2 centimeters, which is about 0.8 inches, of incorrect alignment can cause your body to use the wrong muscle groups. Extend your right arm forward and your left leg backward. Take it slowly, as if you were drawing a straight line with your own body. You do not need to lift high. Smooth and stable is the priority. If you feel your body shake a little, that is a very good sign. It means your brain is switching on. Hold for 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds. During that time, try to feel your spine lengthening, your abdomen gently tightening, your hips staying level without rotating. This is the moment when your brain and your muscles are having a conversation. Lower everything slowly, then switch sides. Do not drop abruptly, and do not rush through it. Slow is hard, but slow is what improves your nervous system. And this is only the basic level. Why is the bird dog so important? A Harvard study found that this exercise is associated with a 42% increase in life expectancy, but not because the muscles become stronger, rather because the brain becomes smarter. They call this the cross-communication mechanism between the two hemispheres of the brain, something children have in abundance. But adults gradually lose. Do you want something even more surprising? With just 2 months of consistency, the bird dog exercise can reduce lower back pain by up to 76 PE, increase core strength by 90, reduce the risk of falling by 82%, and even help increase bone density. Something walking alone can hardly achieve. In other words, if walking is like turning on the lights outside your house, then the bird dog is like turning on the lights inside the control center. One switch that adjusts many things at once. Try it right now, without leaving the video. Kneel on your mat, lift your right arm and your left leg. Hold for 5 seconds if you are shaking a lot, or if your hips tilt to one side. Then, congratulations! You just discovered the most important weak spot that determines your stability as you age. And we still have 2 more exercises to optimize your lower body and your balance system, things that the bird dog is only the starting point for. Now let us move to the second exercise, the one that affects your ability to stand up and walk confidently, which determines whether you need someone to support you or not. Exercise number 2, the chair squat, standing up and sitting down with purpose. Pay attention, and you will notice that most of the small but tiring things throughout the day are related to the chair. Sitting down, standing up, then sitting down again. From the dining chair, the living room chair, the toilet seat, the bench at the park, if every time you stand up, you have to push off, grab the armrest, or breathe heavily, then that is not just being a little tired, it is a sign that your body is losing one of its most important survival skills, standing up on your own. You may be surprised to learn this. Studies tracking older adults show that those who cannot stand up from a chair without using their hands have nearly 3 times the risk of dying within the next few years compared to those who can. It sounds heavy, but it reveals a simple truth. When your legs can no longer push you up, your entire life begins to shrink. Why can a single chair movement be this important? Imagine a normal day. You stand up to go to the bathroom, sit down at the dining table, stand up to answer the door, sit down to watch television. In a day like that, you easily go through dozens of stand and sit movements without even noticing. And here is the interesting part. If every time you stand up you need someone to pull your hand, or you have to push down hard on the armrest, that means your muscles are falling behind. Not that your age is betraying you. On the other hand, when you stand up smoothly, it means the glutes, the front thighs, the back thighs, the core muscles, and the lower back are all coordinating beautifully. Scientists are not joking about this. A meta-analysis of more than 40 studies with over 15,000 participants found that the properly adjusted chair squat does not damage the knees, and can even reduce knee pain by about 58%. Sounds backwards, does it not? Many people fear squats because they think squats will ruin their knees. But in reality, not moving at all is what makes the joints weak and unstable. How to do it correctly? Turn the chair into your mini. You are sitting on a sturdy chair. Back straight, choose the right chair first. The chair should not be too low, should not have wheels, and should not wobble. When you sit, your knees should be close to a 90-degree angle. Simple as it sounds, even a slightly lower chair forces your knees to take much more load. Stand up from the chair one time without using your hands, just a test. This is only a check, not the actual training. Cross your arms over your chest or extend your arms forward to help with balance. Stand up once and notice. Are you standing up using your back or your legs? Do you need to lean forward aggressively just to rise? If you need a deep breath afterward, or your knees feel a little sore, then this exercise is even more important. The main exercise: lowering and standing with control. Step 1. Stand in front of the chair with your feet shoulder-width apart. Let your toes point slightly outward. It does not need to be perfect. This is the natural position of the hip joint and helps reduce pressure on the knees. Step 2. Push your hips back first, then lower yourself down. Imagine you are trying to touch your hips to the chair without letting your knees slide too far forward. Keep your back from rounding and look slightly forward. Count silently. 1, 2, 3. Before touching the chair, Many people only lower their knees without pushing their hips back. That is what strains the knees. Step 3. Touch the chair lightly, like touching something with a static charge. Touch only. Do not collapse into the seat. As soon as your hips make contact, keep the lower body engaged. Do not relax completely. This is the golden zone where the muscles actually do the work, not the chair. Step 4. Stand up using your heels. Push through your heels and gently squeeze your glutes as you rise. Count 1, 2. While standing up, do not pop up quickly. That is 1 repetition. You may be surprised that just 5 to 8 repetitions like this, consistently, can match an entire day of unconscious standing and sitting, but with far more benefit. So does this actually make you stronger? Or is it just for show? In an interesting experiment by longevity research, older adults over 60 years old who practiced chair squats 3 times per week for only 6 weeks increased leg strength by nearly half, about 47%, improved walking speed by 0.2 meters per second, which is about 0.65 feet per second. That number may sound small, but in medical science, it is the clear difference between walking slowly and needing a family member beside you and being able to walk independently in the park. Here is the part that caught many doctors' attention. When they scanned the brain with MRI, the brain region responsible for movement lit up much more after the training program. That means the legs were not only stronger, the control system became sharper too. Do not just listen. Try 10 seconds right now. Try this right now. Even better if you are sitting in a chair. Step 1. Sit upright and cross your arms over your chest. Step 2. Stand up, then sit down, repeating 5 times in a row without using your hands. Step 3. Notice, do you need to pause in the middle, just to breathe? Do your knees make cracking sounds or feel uncomfortable? By the 4th or 5th repetition, can you still maintain the same speed as the first? If just 5 repetitions make you feel like you should take a sip of water to be safe, then here is the good news. Improving this single exercise can change your everyday life dramatically. Why call it good news? Because it means your body still has a lot of potential left, not that you are past your prime. A small routine so you do not feel overloaded. Do not rush after numbers like 15 or 20 repetitions just because other people brag about them. You can start like this: weeks 1 to 2, 5 to 8. Chair squats per day, 1 to 2 rounds per day are enough. Weeks 3 to 4, increase to 10 to 12 repetitions. If that feels good, you can use a slightly lower chair, like a low sofa. After that, when standing up from a regular chair feels effortless, then you can think about holding a small weight or a water bottle. You will be surprised that after a few weeks, the simple things like standing up to answer the door or climbing a few steps suddenly feel much less demanding. The bottom line of exercise to the chair is nitrism exhale longer. A trap: most people see a chair as a place to rest, but after 60 years old, a chair can become either the place that traps your legs, or the training tool that helps you extend your independence for many more years. The difference lies in one thing. Do you stand up from the chair on your own? Or does the chair hold you down? And the next exercise will take care of something the chair squat does not fully address. The stability of the ankles and calves, the very thing that decides whether you can trip a little but not fall. If you are ready for your legs to be not only strong, but stable and quick to react, then let us move on to exercise 3. Exercise number 3. Heel raises and balance. Give your legs roots. Give your mind clarity. Think back to the times when you, or someone you know, almost fell. It is usually because of catching the edge of a rug, slipping on sandals, missing a step on the stairs, or stepping on a slick floor, right? In those moments, the first thing that reacts is not the arms, not the thighs, but the feet and the calves, trying to catch your center of gravity. But that is not even the worst part. After 60 years old, most of us focus on the thigh, the knees, and the lower back, and forget that the ankles and the calves are actually the frontline anti-fall system. Why are the calves this important? Scientists call the calves the second heart of the lower body. Every time you rise onto your toes and lift your heels, your calves squeeze the blood vessels, helping blood return from your legs back to your heart, preventing it from pooling at the lower legs. You may be surprised to hear this. In a large study on adults over 60 years old, those with stronger calves were about 71% less likely to need help with daily activities, about 64% less likely to suffer serious fall-related injuries. Simply put, weak calves, poor blood circulation, swollen and heavy legs, getting tired easily when walking, slower balance reflexes. It is not just your legs get tired easily, it is that your entire defense system is running out of steam. You think the thighs and knees are the most important? Not enough. Many people believe strong legs come from big thighs and strong glutes. That is not wrong, but it is incomplete. Picture yourself as a tree. The thighs and glutes are the trunk and the branches. The ankles and feet are the roots, no matter how strong the trunk is. If the roots are weak and the soil is loose, even a gentle breeze can make the tree sway. But when the roots grip firmly, even a shorter tree can stand strong. A group of Japanese researchers followed older adults in a very interesting test. Those who could perform 20 single-leg heel raises had a biological age that was about 15 years younger than their actual age. Not only that, their arterial elasticity, meaning their blood vessels were younger, was roughly 43% higher compared to those who could not perform the test. In other words, every time you lift your heels, you are not just training your muscles, you are giving your blood vessels a workout. Strong legs, sharper mind. It may sound unrelated, but it is deeply connected. When your calves pump blood well, blood returns to the heart more efficiently, and the heart pumps blood to the brain more steadily. In a 12-week training program that used heel raises and balance exercises, participants not only walked more steadily and reduced leg swelling, but also improved their memory and concentration scores by about 26%. You might think, just lifting my heels can boost my brain. That is the beauty of how the body works. Strong legs gives good circulation, gives the brain, receives enough oxygen and nutrients, gives the brain, performs more sharply. It sounds simple, but it is a key link that most people overlook. How to train, not just lift your heels randomly. Now let us get practical so you do this effectively, not just for fun. Prepare by standing behind a chair. Place both hands lightly on the back of the chair, just for backup, not to grip tightly. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and your feet parallel. If you need to hold on firmly at first, that is completely fine. We will progress step by step. Lift your heels, press strongly through the balls of your feet. Slowly raise your heels as if you are trying to grow a few centimeters, which is about a few centimeters or roughly 1 to 2 inches. Try to place the pressure into the front part of your feet without leaning forward too much. When you reach the highest point, do not come down immediately. Hold for about 3 seconds. This is when the calves and your balance system work the hardest, which also means you get the biggest benefit here. Lower down slowly. Count 1, 2, 3. Do not let your heels drop freely to the floor. Lowering slowly trains the muscles, tendons, and joints around your ankles to break, which is crucial for reacting when you trip or slip. Repeat 10 times. If 10 repetitions already make you feel tired, that is a good sign. It means your calves are waking up. Do not get discouraged. The fatigue is temporary. The benefits are long. Mini test. Try a 3-second balance check. Now, if you feel stable with both feet, let us add a little seasoning. On your next heel raise, hold the highest position for 3 seconds, and gently release one hand from the chair, keep the other hand on it. How does it feel? If your body wobbles, or you have to grab the chair again, that is normal. It just means your balance system has not been to the gym in a long time. You will be surprised that after a few weeks of this type of training, moments like missing a step, stumbling on a doorway edge, or slipping lightly, will no longer cause panic. Your legs will auto-correct far better. Level up when both feet feel stable. When you can, do 20 to 25 heel raises on both feet and lower yourself with full control. Without dropping too fast, then you can increase the difficulty. Single leg heel raises, keep one hand touching the chair. Stand on your right foot and lift your left foot slightly. Raise your heel, hold for 2 to 3 seconds, lower slowly. 8 to 10 repetitions per leg. Play with the tempo. One day, practice slowly. Lift in 2 seconds. Hold for 3 seconds. Lower in 3 seconds. Another day, practice faster but still controlled. Lift in 1 second. Lower in 1 second. No hold. Changing the tempo keeps your muscles and nervous system from falling asleep, forcing them to adapt and respond to new situations. It is like you are not just memorizing one answer, but learning how to respond to everything that comes your way. The bottom line of exercise: 3 legs are not only for walking and short, heel raises and balanced work help you stronger calves, better blood circulation, more mobile ankles, lower chance of missteps or ankle rolls. Sharper balance system. Tripping does not always mean falling. Better brain performance thanks to steady blood flow gives improved focus and alertness. The best part is, you do not need a gym. You do not need fancy shoes. You only need a chair and a few minutes each day. But even that is not the best part. The most important thing is, when you combine all 3 exercises, bird dog, chair, squat, and heel raise, you are strengthening the 3 major pillars of healthy aging: a sharp mind, a stable lower body, fast, reliable reflexes. If you have watched until this point, try answering just one question. When was the last time you almost fell? And how did your legs react? Just remembering that moment will help you understand why these 3 exercises are worth starting this very week. If you look back at the entire journey we have just walked through, you will realize something important. Health after 60 years old does not depend on age as much as we used to believe. It depends on how we retrain the movements that the body was designed to perform. The bird dog helps the brain, the muscles, and the bones communicate again. The chair squat gives you back your independence, letting you stand up using your own legs. The heel raise rebuilds the shock absorbers around your ankles, preventing a stumble from turning into a fall. You do not need a gym. You do not need long hours. By simply staying consistent with these 3 basic movements, you are quietly unlocking a steadier, freer, and less dependent life every single day. Because in the end, age is not the biggest barrier. The biggest barrier is believing it is too late to change. But your body does not think that way. It is always waiting for a signal to grow strong again. So, the only question left is, how many minutes will you give yourself this week to rebuild your own strength? You do not need much. You only need to start.